right now, in terms of me and Dico, we live like brother. We are just brother for a long, long time. See? So me kind of just sad to know say one of my food basket just gone and way there. But you see right now, with brother Dico, him just live good with the good, the bad, and the ugly. See? Praise God. Praise life. Give Jah. Him left me still as countryman.
Let us eat.
What your hands do, it's your own eyes that sing. So won't you judge your actions to make sure that it does clean? It's your own conscience that is gonna remind you that it's your heart and nobody else's that is gonna judge. Be not selfish in your doing. Pass it on. Pass it on. Children. Help your brothers in their needs. Pass it on. Live for yourself. You will live in vain. Live for others and to live again. In the kingdom of Jah, man shall reign. Pass it on. Pass it on. Pass it on. Pass it on. What's in the darkness must be revealed to light. We're not here to judge what's good from bad, but to do the things that are right. On a hot sunny day, under the shadows for rescue. But as the day grows old, I know the sun is gonna find you. Be not selfish in your doing. Pass it on. Help your brothers in their needs. Pass it on. Live for yourself. You will live in vain. You're gonna live for others. You will live again. In the kingdom of Jah, man shall reign. Pass it on. Pass it on. Pass it on. Pass it on.
I'm now going to ask Sally Hensel to come and say a few words.
I met Christopher and Dickie when I was 18 and came from Mandeville to board at 56 Hope Road. From then on, we were more or less inseparable, in that, although months would go by without a sighting, we were always available for some fun and laughter when the other one hit town. And this friendship lasted until Christmas Day 2008. In fact, why should it end now? It's so easy for me to make believe Dicko is still at Edgecombe Road or Notting Hill Gate, and I'll be seeing him again soon. The door will burst open, and Dickie will say, "Look here, where's the herb?" So would begin a visit that would not terminate until the last spliff, bottle of vodka, magic mushrooms, and even the girls had run out. Then he'd say, "Gotta go. See you around." and be heading off to GoldenEye or Thiel or the Cannes Film Festival, because Dicko always had a project. But before the films, there were other ideas. Dickie and I are ideas people, said Diane. It's for other people to implement them. Dicko bought a hotel in Ochi, leased a hotel in Ochi called Falcon Dib. He renamed it Little Madness, or Pokemania for the bilingual. He decided to charge $10 a day on all the herb you could smoke. This venture was not a moneymaker. But one day, walking on Palisados with CB, we came across a huge old World War II bunker, and Dickie thought it would be just the ideal spot for Little Madness too. But why want to expand a failure, reasoned Chris. Then another idea, but this one problematic. Should he do this or that? Flip a coin, says business brain Blackwell. There are more choices than that. I'll have to roll a dice, said Dickie. Dickie spent many Christmases with our family. On one occasion at Ethiopia, I had this beautiful, slim, elegant ganja tree decorated in the traditional way. But I hadn't counted on Dicko. By Boxing Day, all that was left were all that was left was a sorry-looking skeleton standing in a sea of discarded leaves and broken glass balls. Ah, Dicko, what mischief are you getting up to now?
I have the dubious honor of having been manager of Little Madness in Ocherius. I was the first manager. I lived in 56 Hope Road with Winston and Thelma Manley and various other luminaries, and somehow I ended up having the job as manager at Little Madness. It was very interesting because I never actually got paid one penny, but the experience was priceless. Dickie again gave me the job and no direction or anything. It was just, there you are, go there. So I went there, and there was another curious Englishman there called Lance Fries, and Lance and I were running this bizarre hotel. Dickie would turn up every few weeks. He'd take a taxi from Kingston, arrive at Little Madness with no money, and I had to pay for the taxi. So the little money that I had accumulated from the guests who came went immediately to pay Dickie's taxi, and that was it. The only way we survived was by when a guest checked in, we made them pay for the night, and then borrowed their rent-a-car, went to Ocherius, bought food and drink for the evening, and that's how we survived. It was really amazing. So as I, there was never any money. We had a VW minibus, I remember that. But it belonged, there was some question about the ownership of this bus. So the owner wanted to take the bus away, so every night I had to take the wheels off the bus, bring them inside, lock them up so the bus wouldn't be stolen. And it was wild. Anyhow, I have many pleasant memories about Dickie, and I feel privileged to have served in for him. Thank you.
I just have to set the record straight about Little Madness. I would be remiss if I didn't. It was the greatest concept of a hotel at that time. It was the first all-inclusive in Jamaica. Dickie put an ad in the Village Voice in New York for entertainers who wanted to come to Jamaica to perform for 2 weeks for free. We got 250 applications. We did a big live audition and we picked 52 acts, one for each week. We built a disco with sawdust on the floor and a big plexiglass window to the sea. And that hotel was running 98% when Johnny's hotel next door was running 40%. The Minister of Tourism, Tony Abrams at the time, called us in and said to us, he's going to close us down because he heard that a lot of weed was being smoked at Little Madness. Dickie said to him, you can close us down when you have 14 arrests for ganja at Little Madness. So Abrams said, why? He says, because today Kingston Sheraton had 13 arrests, including one man with 8 crocus bags of ganja in his room. And it was the same hotel license that we're operating under. So when we had 14, you could send for the license. Abrams said we didn't have the right attitude to the whole of this tourism thing. So they ignored us. They didn't include us in the brochure. And for the small hotels, they didn't include us in the paint-up program. They literally neglected us. But we had organic food and folk singers by the pool and a really swinging discotheque. At 12 o'clock, when all the bunnies came off duty, they would grab 2 taxis and come down. And they would help us to serve drinks when our waitresses couldn't do it. So it was a great success up to when I left it. I don't know what happened to it after that.
But I'm supposed to be here to say a prayer for Dickie, which I find a bit strange because Dickie is the one who believed that insects would inherit the earth. But, you know, I guess I should say if having a brother like Dickie was, in a way, paved a way for me because I figure I had a free ride. Nothing I could do would have been as bad as what Dickie had done before. So, you know, in a way, life was much easier for that. I would still remember not my duty up here is to say a prayer. Although, as I said, Dickie is wasn't a praying man, and I wouldn't say he lived a life that was according to the scriptures, but he did believe, you know, had a good, as my father would have said, a good and loving heart, striving to express itself.